You were the commanding officer going back for Mike Company in 1966. So you were there prior to that. Now, let me ask you, who had the tougher job? Was it you or Paul?
Well, they say in the Marine Corps there's only two good jobs.
Right.
The one you just came from and the one you're going to. But there could be no better job in Vietnam than to command Mike Company.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved them. They're tremendous. I still talk to them to this day. We met each other in 1963, and we kind of grew up together. So it's just many ways a father-son relationship. I quoted the other night there from Sun Tzu, regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. Treat them as your own beloved sons, and they will be with you even unto death. And that's the relationship that we had with my company. They, in many ways, were my sons before I had children, but they're my sons and will be till we die.
Amen. And you went into those valleys and you went into those jungles with them, and they went with you.
All the way, absolutely. But it was just an honor to command a company like Mike and to be a part of, to make history.
Okay. Oh, they're asking me if you can hold the mic just a little bit
sure.
that way.
Okay.
That way, better,
Yeah.
Yep, better audio. When you're with the veterans, when you speak to Marines today, when you people who are thinking about getting into the Marine Corps or maybe your E1s, what advice do you have to them as someone who's seen it all?
Just be proud of being Marine. Our core values are courage, honor, and commitment, and those are the things that we expect and are produced by the Marines. Great training out of boot camp, preparation for whatever your assignment it will be in the Marine Corps, and every MOS is important. So I'm an infantry officer, but we had to rely upon artillery and aviation and tanks and all the rest of them. So it's truly a team, and once a Marine, always a Marine. It's just always the case.
Oh, that's right. And they say that, and you'll have to correct me if I've got the story wrong. It's coming from a Navy guy, but if I remember correctly, it was German dispatches in World War I that were intercepted, and they said there's a new kind of fighting force that the Americans have sent over. We're not sure who they are. They're not soldiers and they're not sailors, but they fight like a pack of devil dogs.
Teufelhunden. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And who was that again? And that was the United States Marines.
Oh, yes, the Teufelhunden. Yeah.
The Teufelhunden.
Yeah.
So
the devil dogs. Yeah.
And that of course has gone and become. And I said the Marines found that, and they immediately adopted that as the nickname throughout time, because that was even the German Huns were willing to say that.
Yeah. What a great nickname, huh?
Oh, it's incredible. And when you look for what makes a good Marine, what would you say?
Well, the number one thing is integrity, and that is you're always expected to do the right thing for the right reasons, and that integrity expands to those that you're serving with, your fellow Marines, or now sister Marines as well, but that they can rely upon you and you can rely upon them. And I mentioned last night that in the summer and fall of 1966, over half the company was wounded or had been wounded. So just tremendous actions, and General Van Riper's described some of them already, all the way until 1970, and my company was always in the thick of it. And again, we're not sure who's the most decorated unit, but as far as I'm concerned, the one that was dear to my heart and will be until the day I die is my company.
Mike 37. When you look out there and you look back at the history of it, what do people get wrong about the history of the experience of the Marines in Vietnam?
I think, and I taught a course on Vietnam, and I think what the problem is that for many Americans, they mixed up the war with the warrior. And if they didn't like the war, they had a tendency to take it out on the warrior, and that's just wrong. And the way some of the veterans were treated when they returned, is inexcusable. But we got over it. The people understood eventually that we had a job to do and we did it. So I think that's one of the things that always stayed with me is when you want somebody to fight, you send in the Marines. I mean, and we can do demonstrations and feints and all the rest of it, but when it comes time to fix bayonets and charge, as I once said, the opportunity to give that command, then you fix bayonets and you charge. You're expected to.
Wait, you were hold on a second. You were still using bayonets in 1966.
Oh yeah, that's a great weapon. When it came time to take a position that reinforced battalion and my company going up against it, used every supporting arm I could, artillery, aircraft, so sun is going down. You don't want to attack a position where they know where they are, but you don't know where they are. So I said, there's only one thing you can do is fix bayonets. And when the bayonets went on, it's this amazing resolve that came over the company. It's like, this is as grisly as it's going to get. You know, we're not going to shoot somebody at 300 yards, or we're going to smash or slash or beat to death another human being. And at the end of that at one end of this rifle, the other, there's going to be someone alive and someone dead.
Oh, and you hear story, and I've read so many accounts of the close quarters combat, the tunnel combat that happened.
Tunnel rats, yeah.
The tunnel rats, yeah. I've read quite a bit of some of the, and it doesn't get more harrowing than being up close and personal. And you know, bayonet is not exactly effective at 300 yards.
No,
more about 3 feet.
Yeah, or less.
Or less. General, we're just about out of time. Final minute to you. What does it mean that America is turning its face towards the Marine Corps today on the 250th birthday?
I think that the first thing it should be the gratitude for having a Corps of Marines that is most ready when the nation is least ready. And in these days when we can't predict the future, we just have to be absolutely ready for the next step, and that means staying prepared, staying trained, staying in shape, modernize the equipment and so forth. But all of that depends on one commodity, and that's the Marine who's holding that weapon, operating that drone, whatever the case may be. And that's where our confidence must be, and it's our duty to make sure that our nation always has that confidence in us.